Today, I'm excited to interview Nicole Tiffany. Nicole Tiffany is a homeschool teacher, and she is just starting her business teaching manners to children. So welcome to Manners to Go. And I thought everyone out there, we have a big community, and I thought you would like to learn more about her and her thoughts, especially as a homeschool teacher. I think you can give some insight and some of your opinions. And as I mentioned, you're a homeschool teacher. I'd like to hear more about that. And was this one of the driving factors for you to start a business teaching manners to children?
Yes, I was homeschooled as a child myself, and now I teach my own. I would have to say that homeschooling is a big part of what I call our family culture.
Mhm.
So we live together, we play together, we work together, we learn together. That's just sort of our family culture there. So I'd have to say yes. I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. I actually also have a cake business that I
Mhm.
specialize in custom wedding and special occasion cakes. I have a network marketing business. And then I also homeschool my children, but due to the current circumstances of schools, I actually also have a few extra children with me 5 days a week. So it really keeps me on my toes. But I definitely say yes. Being able to have something that I can have flexibility in time and scheduling the classes definitely fits with our lifestyle.
Fantastic. I love that. I love that you describe it in a way that I didn't know that you grew up as a homeschool student.
Yep.
That is, yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. But you work together, you play together. I love that. A lot of good quality time. I can understand why your neighbors want to get in on that.
Right.
How lucky are they to have you? And
I know.
they're really lucky to have you. So, what excites you the most about starting this business? I know you have an entrepreneurial spirit, but what excites you about it?
What's excite me about the starting my business as
Mm-hmm.
a yes, I would
Specifically
say
teaching manners.
um, the opportunity to help children with manners. Um, I started doing our etiquette classes, and I've really noticed, like this last week we had our first tables manner class, and half the students had never even used a knife, and none of them could hold a fork properly.
Mhm.
And so just being able to do that with them and work with helping them go through the motions of picking up the knife and changing, forks and knives. And they're like, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work to eat. But I just have to say that, a lot of parents, children not having the proper manners, I wouldn't say even is necessarily the parents' fault. I think that a lot of parents or adults that I've talked to, they don't even know what to do
Yes.
most of the and so they don't even know where to start when they're wanting to do better for their children than what they had. So just this last week, we did our 3-course meal with the students, and they had a great time. They loved it. Just as we went through the confidence that they had after practicing for the week and sitting down and having the meal, it really was amazing. So I would definitely say that just watching just being able to watch the children go from not knowing what to do to that confidence of knowing how to come into a room, how to greet people, what to say, how to answer the phone. These are just skills that, are lacking every day. So I really think that this is a great opportunity.
Yes, and you offer so much value, and we do as etiquette experts to help the children. And it's not like they sit down and think, well, there's a bunch of rules. They really do enjoy learning the
Mhm.
topic, and they love participating in it as well. Of course, they love the eating, but setting the table and learning where everything goes. You can see it in their faces. They just
Yeah.
really light up during a table manners class.
Yeah.
And and what advice would you give your 21-year-old self?
Well,
That's a loaded question, isn't
boy.
it?
I'm a firm believer in change one thing and you change the course. You don't know where it would go. So I'm not really one that's necessarily into the whole, what would you change about if the one thing you can change about yourself. But I would definitely say if I had to choose one thing, it would be to finish college before getting married.
Oh, yes.
Finish college before getting married would be the one thing that I would have probably changed.
Yes, I think that's a really good idea. And
Yeah.
nowadays, I think that age is shifting even further out.
Yeah. So,
I,
anyways.
I know. And why did you choose? I know you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you have a cake decorating business, which I love that. And you have a network marketing business. But why start with manners, teaching manners?
Well, my mom and I had actually talked for several years about wouldn't it be fun to have like a little finishing school, like actually teaching young ladies how to sit, how to stand, how to serve tea, all those forgotten, skills, all those social skills, all those forgotten. And so it just kind of came around that this year while we were getting ready to plan our homeschool year, and I also run a co-op where homeschool families get together and we do little classes together. And one of the classes I wanted to do this year was a manners class. And I wanted to do because I wanted to teach my own children manners. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to just be able to do this as a group? So I started doing some research into different options for manners, like read aloud books or curriculum, different things. And I came across the Manners to Go. And that's kind of really what started, like, you know what, I think I could actually really do this as not just with our little homeschool group, but I mean, I'm in for multiple streams of income. And I think that this is definitely something that would be beneficial to other families and have great value. So I decided, you know what, with the changing climate and more things going online. I mean, I can't, send a cake out the door online. We didn't have a wedding this last summer. So I was really thinking about, well, what am I going to do? So being able to do manners classes online or even in group settings once everything kind of settles down, I just see that as a great opportunity.
Yes, this year has certainly changed the way we look at things and how we learn. No question. And I've been training by video for years. I've been training my licensees that way. And, it certainly has opened up a new portal for all my licensees because you can teach anywhere in the world if you choose, if you want to take that opportunity. You're a busy mom. I think everyone out there would like to hear from, as you can see, we just heard how busy you are. And I remember that saying, if you want something to get done, give it to a busy person. So tell us how you manage it.
I would definitely say scheduling and lots of lists.
Yes, yep. I agree with that. Lots of lists.
Lots of lists. Oh my goodness. I feel like I spend most of my time making lists, but things get done that way.
Yes.
Yes, I would definitely say early mornings and late nights. Sometimes I have kids all day, but then I have a cake that has to get out the next day. So I have to stay up late and get that ready to go out the door the next day. So it's a juggle, but definitely worth it because that's just, it's what we have to do. So sometimes, like you just have to do it. So you just do.
I can't wait to hear the answer to this question. What's the favorite or was the favorite book that you like to read to your children?
I would definitely say the Little House on the Prairie series. My son just loves the books. They are so descriptive. And I just feel like if you were to go out and start a homestead, all you need is a set of Little House on the Prairie. I mean, just it goes through and it tells you, like, if you want to milk a cow or churn butter or know how the shoemaker is going to make your new pair, the bootmaker is going to make your new pair of boots. I mean, they'll tell you.
Oh, wow. I remember such good memories with that show. I watched it as growing up and wow, that's heartwarming. I have to ask, we're getting ready to move into the holidays. Being that you're a cake decorator and a baker, please share. What are you baking for Thanksgiving?
What am I baking for desserts? We're doing a cranberry pear crisp And then we'll have a ginger snap crust pumpkin cheesecake with a salted caramel sauce. And then, of course, for my son, I have to do pumpkin pie. So,
Oh,
and I always do my pumpkin pie fresh, not canned pumpkin. So, fresh. So,
good for you.
so it's quite a process to bake the pumpkin and then puree everything. And yeah, but that's the way he likes it.
Delicious. Oh my goodness, that sounds wonderful. And who would be on your dinner party list, living or deceased?
Living or deceased? Well, my mom and I actually had a conversation about this. And the first one that we would definitely, most of them are, I think most are deceased at this point, but definitely first would be Abigail Adams. Mm-hmm. So she was the wife of John Adams, and I would love to be able to talk to her about what it was like back then. First, as a woman, basically, while her husband was away, she had to manage the farm. She raised the children. She schooled them. She did all of that, and she was also John Adams' number one advisor. He always went to her. Mm-hmm. And so I just think that it would be really neat to be able to talk to her about what life was like.
I agree. That's an interesting person. She's never come up. Usually I have Jacqueline Kennedy, Oprah's come up several times. Abigail Adams. I love that. Well, thank you so much. I so appreciate your time. We are going to give more information about Nicole. You can read more about her and her business in the article. Thanks again. And of course, we wish you the best of luck, and we will absolutely stay in touch.
Thank you so much.